my testimony of how I came to the Lord. But after that, I was in Seattle and I was praying one night and I needed help. I was the only one. There was no church in Seattle. I started going to church in Tri-Cities, but I didn't have anybody during the week. Didn't have any help with the message, no fellowship. And I prayed, I asked God if He would send me some fellowship, send me some help. I need help with this word. I'm not any good at this kind of stuff, and the reading and remembering and all that stuff. So that night I was praying. Something happened a long ways away in Genoa, Illinois. A young girl went through the prayer line, and a young lady, and she was feeling sick. She went to the doctors. She was diagnosed with leukemia. They Learjetted her to Seattle. And she was in ICU in Seattle when I met her. I met the whole family there. And yeah, I went to church. The Saturday I went to Tri-Cities to go to church, and then at church somebody said, well, we're not sure what's going on right now, but there is a missionary in Seattle. We don't know how long he's going to be there. They gave me his number, Brother Mark Doherty, and said, if you contact him, you'll have some fellowship. And so I went, I met the whole family in ICU, and they were happy. They weren't sobbing and crying and scared of anything. They had something I didn't have yet. Mm-hmm. They were Christians, and they knew God was bigger than anything. It's bigger than leukemia. It's bigger than all that.
Amen.
And so, if you want to go to the piano. And so they spent 2 years in Seattle, back and forth. He lost his farm, went through troubles. After she was Learjetted there, it was a month or so before that his barn caught fire, their farm flooded, and all these troubles. Yeah, I called him Job, Job's family. And we had a lot of good times with them. They showed me a lot, and they helped me through my tough time. It made my things look so small. And Michelle was the one that had leukemia, and we became really good friends, very close. We both thought the world of each other. And, I never really believed that God was going to take her home. I just knew He was going to heal her. 2 years later, God took her home. She got her healing.
Yep.
She got her healing. But I struggled with it. I told her I wouldn't. I told her, no matter what, I'll know where you're going. I'll know where you're at. And I'll be happy. If God doesn't leave you here to be a testimony, then you'll be a testimony anyways, and I'll know that you're okay, and I'll be happy with that. Well, I really wasn't. I struggled. Excuse me. A couple weeks after she passed away, I was in my trailer. I was living at a youth ranch in a travel trailer, and I just couldn't quite get a grip on it. I thought, Lord, why? Why wouldn't you just take me? I was, wasn't any good. She was too young. She was too much of a testimony. I mean, you took her home. And so it was Sunday morning, and I'm getting ready for church, and I just didn't have an answer for it. So I'm driving to church, and to this day I don't even know how I got to church. I'm looking out my front windshield, and all of a sudden I see this vision, and I don't know where it was at. I don't know where it came from, but I seen all these people leaning over the banister. And I seen Michelle, and she said, hold on, it's just a little longer. It's just a little longer. Hold on. Just keep singing that song. If you keep singing that song. And I could hear the song playing in my head all the way to church. But I drove all the way to church. I drove into church, and I'm thinking of this song, and I can't remember the words. I can't remember the title. But it's playing in my mind. And I pulled into the parking lot, and I got in. I went into church real quick, and I sat down, and I knew it was in the red books. They had these red song books in Tri-Cities, and I knew that song was in there. They had the red song books in Idaho. I was in Idaho at the time. And I picked up the songbook, and I'm looking, and I know I'm going to find it, but it wasn't in that book. The song wasn't in that book, and that song just playing in my head. And I'm trying to find it. The preacher gets up, and he's preaching. I thought, well, I can't, So I set the songbook back down, and I sat there through service, and the song just kept rolling and rolling. And I'm listening to the preacher, and I watched him. He finishes preaching, and he turns around, and he's walking back to his chair. He stopped. He looked around, and he said, look, can you see him? They're there. They're right there. They're saying, hold on, church. Hold on. It's just a little longer. Hold on. That song. Start playing that song. He said, and he started singing the song. And I'm crying, I'm singing, I'm praising God. He said, I am determined to hold out to the end. Jesus is with me, on him I can depend, for I know I have salvation, for I feel it in my soul. I am determined to hold out to the end. Let's all sing that. Something over me stole, like lightning it went through me, and glory filled my soul. Salvation made me happy and took my fears away. And when I meet old Satan, to him I always say, I am determined to hold out to the end. Jesus is with me, on him I can depend. And I know I have salvation, for I feel it in my soul. I am determined to hold out to the end. Satan was so angry, said he'd soon be back. Just the path get narrow, and he will lose the track. But I'm so full of glory, Lord, I always find. And I just say to Satan, old man, get thee behind. I am determined to hold out to the end. Jesus is with me, on him I can depend. For I know I have salvation, for I feel it in my soul. I am determined to hold out to the end. This old time religion makes me sometimes shout. I don't have time to gossip, nor any time to pout. They say that I'm noisy, but when the blessings flow, I shout, oh hallelujah, I want the world to know. I am determined to hold out to the end. Jesus is with me, on him I can depend. For I know I have salvation, more real than just standing here in front of this pulpit. It's more real than this house is to me. The scene that I seen that day, the Lord that I serve every day, it's more real to me now than it was when I first started.
Praise God. Praise God. Amen.
We're going home, church. We're going home, little bride. God's taking care of us this far. He's going to take care of us the rest of the way. Amen. That's all I have this morning. Love you and pray for you and ask the Lord give you a spiritual revelation. And know that we're going home. All the troubles and all the things you hear, all the rumors of wars and all the bad things that are out there. If you listen to the news, it's terrible, the stuff that's happening. Terrible, but it's exciting because we know these things were going to happen. He told us they were going to happen, and they're happening. They're here. We should be the happiest people on the face of the earth right now because we see it. We were shown, given a spiritual revelation to see these things. A prophet messenger that came and said there are going to be cars, driverless cars. There's going to be sicknesses. And they'll hate you without a cause. But you're going to be that little bride that just stands there and says, no, it's okay. It's okay. They can hate me.